To defy the odds, you have to risk everything and take chances. At Old Nation Brewing Company, we did just that. From an unknown startup brewery to standing alongside national craft brands in just under a decade, we remain one of the last of the large, independently owned breweries in Michigan. Our beer is respectfully brewed using only the highest quality ingredients, and we don't cut corners. With the times changing for everyone, one thing that stays the same is Old Nation's respect for great beer and the people who love it. We're growing in cans produced and fans made. When you taste our beer, you'll know why.
This is so exciting.
It is so exciting. I love this time of year. This week especially when you have even the lower conferences playing
You
all
can
this
settle
basketball.
in and watch the Great Danes of Albany take on Bryant.
Yes, you can. Okay. I'm not going to tell you that I didn't do that. But, I'll be up till 11:30 watching some games tonight. So here's what I want to do with this. We're going to go through a list here of teams that will be in the tournament. I'll give you their projected seeds.
Okay.
But could they be upset specials in the tournament based off of what and how they play?
So a vulnerability index?
Correct.
Go 1 to 5. Does that work?
Exactly.
Okay.
And we'll start with Michigan's on the list. They're projected 5 seed.
No, they're a 5 on the vulnerability.
Yeah.
So vulnerability 5 meaning you can't upset anybody?
They're going to be upset.
5 means
okay.
Alert.
Alarm bell. Look, they don't shoot the 3 well. Factual. They don't shoot free throws well. Factual. They turn it over a ton. Also factual. That is a recipe for disaster. So I'm putting them at a 5.
I'm going to put them at a 4, David. Here's why.
You blue belly scumbag.
Because they have 2 7-footers. And once they step foot out of the Big Ten, it may be difficult for a team, especially on a one-day turnaround, to figure out how to guard Vlad and Wolf at the same time. Now, the problem is this team looks worn down. They're exhausted. I mean, watching Vlad during that state game, he's just on the sideline like, oh, my goodness.
He played so well, though.
He did, but he knows he has to carry this team. He cannot have a bad day or they're cooked. You turn the ball over way too much. You miss way too many free throws. I mean, you just leave points out there.
They guard the logo well.
Yes, they do. Well, it's a third of the court at MSU.
Yeah, just so people know how the season has gone down the drain, Michigan was top 20 in offense, but also 30th or 300th rather in turnover rate. They've now gotten worse offensively and still turned that ball over.
Thank God you had a buzzer beater against Rutgers.
You're right.
Hey, David,
we would have been 0-6 since
ever since he signed that contract, he's 2-4.
2-4. Yep.
Negative 51-point differential, and that's including 2 wins.
I'm sure Wojo's got a piece penned about, geez, that's an awful lot of money, like when State extended Mel Tucker.
Let's get over to another team here, an SEC team.
Hate to see it.
A lovely story there. It is Kentucky.
Yeah.
Wonderful story for them. They're projected to be a 3rd seed, but this is what they talk about. They don't force turnovers, and that's a problem. They are dead last in steal rate at 4.8, and they believe that's going to be their downfall.
Look, I believe in Mark Pope. He's just done an incredible job. He had a great resume before getting the job, former player there. I'm not going to hold the Calipari PTSD against him. I view them, I'll put them as a 2. Like the only teams that are a 1 are going to be your 1 seeds, but they are a very low chance to be upset. I just think he's a damn good coach. They play rock solid ball, and they're coming out of the best conference in America. I'll say a 2.
Yeah, I would say a 2 as well. I'm trying to look up the guy. They had an injury on their team, like their 2nd or 3rd leading
You talk
scorer.
about Jackson Robinson?
Yeah.
Kirk Krisha?
So they're not coming into the tournament at 100%, but man, when they're like every team in the SEC. When they're on fire, forget about it. You're not going to beat them. But when they have a bad day, oh boy,
they allow a lot of
boy.
They allow a lot of 3-point attempts against them.
I mean, I think it was Florida beat them by like 40 points in Rupp Arena.
But again, this is also, David, it's a new day in the tournament. It's all matchup oriented. Like if a team gets misseeded and they're a line or 2 lower than they should be, yeah, you can get beat. But you're asking the question. I view Kentucky lower on the upset scale.
And that's why I wanted to go through these teams now so people can watch them during their conference tournaments to kind of see how they play, to see what you're going to do when the bracket comes out. Wisconsin, projected 3 seed. Of course, they have that pro-style offense now. They shoot a lot of threes, but their vulnerability is they don't offensive rebound. So when they miss a shot, that's it. No second chance.
What are they projected to be?
A 3 seed.
Yeah, I would say Wisconsin, kind of like Michigan, their best player, Kanji, is wearing down, and they go as he goes. When he's having great games back when early in the year, that's why they're going to be a 3 seed, because they play so well beginning of the year. But watching him now, he's out there laboring. That's going to be a problem for him. If you have a team that can defend well or has an elite defender that they can throw on him and say, okay, somebody else beat us, they'll beat him.
Look, here's for me, I'm going to actually put him at a 4. I think what Rico's saying is spot on. And when your best player has had to carry it all year, he's getting tired, and they're 2-3 or 2-4 down the stretch. They're not playing good ball. I don't know, man.
Like the best thing, and people always say, the best thing that can happen for Wisconsin, you lose on Thursday in the Big Ten tournament. Give yourself a week to rest up and then prepare for the NCAA tournament. The worst thing that can happen for them is they make it to the championship.
Yeah, and then the other thing, too, just look, they've also cratered shooting the 3 in this span. I think they were like 3 for 30 against Michigan State. They're going the wrong way. I'm going to go 4. I think they're an overrated team. I trust what Rico says. I think he's right about it, too. I'll go 4 for Bucky Badger.
I'll give you one more Big Ten team here before we move to another team. It is the Oregon Ducks. They are projected to be a 5 seed. And here's what they say about them. They are really good at a lot of things, not great at anything. So because they're average, they're on the list there.
They are. David, they had, I think, 2 people on the all-defensive team for the Big Ten. Like, they can defend you well. You're right. They're a jack-of-all-trade type of team. I think that Oregon in the tournament, I would probably put it at maybe a 3. And it's going to boil down to a matchup with them. If they go up against a team that can play defense at the same level as them, like when they played Michigan State, they had a 14-point lead, and then Michigan State cut their water off.
Yeah, look, I think Oregon's a resume team, okay? I think when you look at the big picture, you take your preconceived notion of what they are and are not. Let's say they're just good at everything, great at nothing. Well, it also means they don't have an Achilles heel. I think they have 8 or 9 quad 1 wins, right? So that's quality. And the Big Ten was pretty good. So I'll go.
I went 3.
All right, I'm not going to fight you. Because David's right. They're kind of capped. They feel like a team that, like, well, I don't think they're going to lose their opening game. I also don't think they're getting out of the first weekend.
And they have Oregon as a what seed?
5.
They are projected to be a 5 seed.
So they would probably play the 4. So
you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll go 3. But they've had a nice year. Dana Altman does a nice job out there.
He does.
They have had a good year. So I'll close it out with this question to you.
Yes.
I get it. It's been a wide open year. You got Michigan State, St. John, Alabama, Florida, Auburn, Houston. But to me, and I know you didn't hear that one team, I still think, is it just Duke's year?
I'm going to step aside. Rico hates Duke with a passion, and I'm going to listen to him.
No, I do not hate Duke, David, but it's one of those games, it's Cooper Flag. If you can, he's still a freshman. Now, he's going to probably be the top pick in the NBA draft, but at the end of games, of close games, he keeps doing freshman things and turning the ball over. That's going to be a problem. Duke is not a deep team. So if you could defend him and basically say everybody else has to beat us, Duke is beatable. They're one of the favorites. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate them, but I don't look at them as, wow, you know what? There's like UConn last year. Man, there was nobody that was going to beat UConn except for UConn. I don't see that as that. But I will say there is one team, if they happen to make the tournament, could be that team that upsets that first number 1 seed, Mike, and that would be Arkansas. With Calipari, Arkansas, they're a fringe team, but they have all the pieces there to win a lot of games. It's just for some reason they couldn't get out of their way and consistently win games this year. So if they make the tournament, that's one team I would not want to see in my bracket.
I'm done with John Calipari. Leave me alone. Shout out Jan Knippel or whatever his name is. Look, it's Duke or Auburn for me because I'm terrified of both. But can MSU do it? It's possible.
It's probably going to depend on where they.
You just got to look at how they've shot the 3 the last 10 to 12 games.
Fair.
Disregard the beginning of the year. If this is how they're going to shoot the three, you know they're going to guard, you know they're going to turn you over. My fear is Jace Richardson ready for that moment because they don't have a star. The closest thing they have to it, shot clock's at 7.
Right. But
Jace,
the thing is,
save us.
But the thing is, he keeps going out there and making moves. And they're the antithesis of Wisconsin, where Wisconsin can't make a three now. State can.
Don't tell anybody.
See, and the tournament can make or break a player, right? All of a sudden, a player can just shine in that tournament.
You put basically Cohen Carr on Cooper Flag, and I think you can slow him down. Cohen, keep Flag to 14 points or less.
And whatever you do,
win.
guard the logo.
Thanks, Michigan. Thank you so much.
Because, by the way, Cohen Carr wasn't in the game.
All right, move on.
All right, that is your college basketball fast break.